What's up? What's up? Carmen Disco here for Get Retail Ready. We got another awesome show today. We're covering a lot of topics. I mean, this is our fifth season or sixth season, one of those. I can't remember. We're doing so much today. It's been nuts. But let me bring on the man himself, Mr. Jim DeBetta. What's up, Jim?
Good morning, sir.
Jim, what season are we in, man? I'm lost today.
I think it's 5.
Yeah.
It could be 6, depending on how we do seasons. But I think on our thing, it says season 5 episode. Like this is like 6 or 7. I don't know the episode numbers. I probably know the season. Just don't know what episode number we're on. I just know that next week we'll have a guest. We'll have an inventor on. Today we're talking about something else. And then it's like Christmas time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's hard.
Are we doing a show? Are we doing a show like the 2 days before Christmas, or are we gonna just take a break?
We can.
We can.
We have several in the bank that are rolling out, so we can decide. We can always skip. So we do have several that are already pretty much ready to go that'll be rolling out. So we'll decide as we get closer.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Well, as you know, a lot of the topics we cover are born of people's comments, emails, messages, or just things that I see repetitively on social media. So I figured, hey, why not? Since a lot of people are asking or arguing or debating, those are good topics. And the one that is an age-old one, actually, I think we had, or maybe I was on, Lisa Lloyd.
Yep.
Right. So the French twist thing that she was licensed out and was very successful with. I think I was on her show. And she is a big proponent of, as are a lot of people in the business, that your product has to solve a problem. There has to be a proven need or something that shows people that this product is needed. It solves a particular problem. And because she's like that, and there are other people like that, which I don't necessarily disagree with at all. I feel like that there are many products out there that don't do that. They don't necessarily solve a problem. They don't fix something. They don't alleviate an issue. And so I went on social media this morning and I posted about, like, do you need to solve a problem with your product? What do you have to specifically do? And when I posted this online, I basically said, okay, so here's the deal. I said, so this is what my post exactly said. So it says, okay, what does Lululemon, Purple Mattress, and Apple have in common? And then I wrote that, well, what they have in common is that they sell things that we really don't need. And I always preface things like posts like that by saying, I know there's going to be people that think differently or whatever. But the whole post, you'll read it because you always read my stuff anyway. And it goes into that you don't need $1,000 smartphone to exist. It doesn't fix any problems. You don't need a $5,000 mattress to sleep on. You don't need $130 leggings from Lululemon to solve an issue, right? You can do all those things for a lot less money, and they're still probably just as effective. But we love brands. We love cool stuff. People love Apple. People love Lululemon. And my kids are wearing that stuff. I never thought they would wear it. I'm buying half of it, right, for them. But like, do you need shorts that are $70 when $30 and $40 shorts, which are still sort of like for athletic shorts, are sort of expensive, right? Do the same thing basically, right? They cover you. They are made of decent fabrics. They wear well, they look okay. And so, back to sort of like the people in the industry that say, the first thing you have to do is prove your product solves a problem. I mean, and you can argue with me, Carmen, if you want. What does a $130 pair of leggings solve for you?
I can't argue with you. That's exactly right.
It doesn't, it solves nothing. Now, I also put in that post that it is great to have products out there that solve problems, and we do need those products. I am not saying that every great product just has to be fun or frivolous or whatever. But if we walk into any store, especially something that's beyond a Walmart where it's the basics, You can go into a Costco, a department store like Macy's or Belk or Von Maur, or you can go into, there's so many stores that are just more mid to high end. A majority of, or most of what they sell is not needed. You don't need those things to live. They don't change your world. They're just enhancements. Now, some of those things might solve a problem. I guess it just depends on what you consider to be a problem. A lot of people in our country are spoiled. I mean, we these first world problems we have, like, oh, the mattress I have sucks and it was only $1,500, but so I need a $5,000 or $4,000 or $3,000 mattress to make my back feel better. That's probably mostly a bunch of crap. I'm sure they make your sleep a little bit better, but you're not spending that extra money and it's life altering. I just don't believe that for the most part with most things. I do think those more expensive things can help you, but chances are, like, if your iPhone, it's not fixing your problems in your life. It just makes your life more convenient. There's a difference between convenience and a problem issue solver. There's a difference between something has little extra benefits that make you feel like it's fixing things, but really they're just minor inconveniences. Okay, I'm just thinking now, I'm looking back, like if when I leave my house today and I use my little garage door clicker, I could get out of my car and hit the keypad and shut the garage door. I don't want to do that, especially if it's raining or if it's like freezing. But is it really a problem solver, or is it just saving me 30 seconds and making my life just a little bit easier?
Yep.
Now, again, there's that, I guess that's the gray area, but I just don't believe that most things, and the things like that are on infomercials and the things that are out there, are just primarily and strictly problem solving. And if you don't have those things, your world is so much worse without them.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a huge topic. You and I tackle this all the time. I mean, there's commodity type products that you don't have to buy, but that are always purchased. I mean, toilet paper is a commodity product, I mean, that's something that to me, you have to buy. But
right.
Like you said, the little clicker, if that clicker broke, do you have to go get a universal clicker for your garage door? No. It is a convenience type item.
But it does, okay, so I'll take the other side. It does solve a problem, right? My problem is now I have to get out of my car.
Sure.
This is a problem for me. So this clicker solves the problem. So if you want to say everything is like that, then I guess everything must need to be a problem solver. But I just don't look at it that way. Okay. I think the bigger issue might even be if I have a product and that product sells, like in order for it to sell in the marketplace, does it have to be defined as a problem-solving product? And the answer to that is absolutely not. There's no way in the world that you can tell me that if I'm making a product, if I'm going to retail with something, if I'm working with you, Carmine, to develop a product, and I say, Carmine, I've got this idea for something and I want you to make it. If it's not considered to be a problem solver, should you just say, no, Jim, I can't do this because it doesn't meet that criteria? I can tell you that whether it's a gray area or not. Okay, I'm looking at, I have, it's like right here, a Yeti cooler. I am telling you right now that I don't need, I actually got that in like a silent auction. I won it. I probably paid a lot more for it, for the donation, than the Yeti is worth. I actually think that thing doesn't even work that much better than a $50 cooler to me. It's sturdy. I know you can throw the thing off a 5-story building and it won't break probably, but is that really solving a problem? I mean, I just don't think that it is. So when like an inventor comes to me with a Yeti, I'm sitting there saying, this is great. This could probably sell because it has something extra, or it has something more, or it's more convenient, or it's sturdier, or maybe it keeps the ice cooler. Is that a problem solver?
Yeah.
Again, there's probably no answer here, but I'm here to just tell inventors that You can make something that's just stupid. It could be fun. It could be trendy. It could be worthless. And you can absolutely sell millions of dollars of it, get famous from it, make a ton of money for everybody involved. And if it doesn't solve a real problem, that's okay, because you're running a business and you don't have to always solve an issue for something to make sense to invent.
Jim, 100%. I would love a flat earth person to come on that doesn't believe what we're talking about and work with. We won't argue with them because everyone has their own opinion. I have no problem with that. But you got to remember that every non-commodity product is something that we don't need. So we don't need to drive a Bugatti Chiron. I mean, right? But people buy it. And the biggest selling products that made inventors the most money are products that were non-commodity products that didn't solve a real problem.
All right, good. You know what? You're right. We know Josh Malone, right? Bunch of balloons, huge industry advocate. Really, he's really great for our business in our industry. There's no question. He's all about patent reform and patent protection. He does more than he needs to.
Yep. Great guy.
On a legislative level, he's out there. His product, you fill water balloons all at once with a hose. Please, somebody tell me what problem that solves. Yet that thing has done hundreds of millions of dollars in business, and good for him. Really, really good for him that he's able to create something and live out a dream of coming up with an idea and making millions from it. But does that solve a problem? I don't. If you're going to sit here, if someone's going to come on this show and say, yes, because I wanted my balloons filled 30 seconds faster than if I did it on my own, and they're telling me that that's their argument, there is no argument.
Agree.
It's okay, inventors, to do something that doesn't fix something, that doesn't solve the world's issues. It's not a requirement. Retailers love stuff they can make money from. They don't care what it does, how it's done, where it's from. I mean, there are some like criteria, like it has to be safe. It can't be harmful to kids or have toxic materials, but outside of those general things, they just want things that make money.
Yep.
And I am telling you that much of what is out there, a majority of what is out there, really isn't solving anything. It's just flat out fun, and they're cool, or they're like things people want to be seen with, like Lululemon. It's like, you got to wear that stuff if you're, 12 to, 35 or whatever that their target group is specifically. They're not fixing anything.
Yeah.
They're not.
No, of course not. It's a want. It's a need to have, want to have, like to have. It's no doubt about it. And that's what makes the world go round. I think that's what's cool. I mean, we'd all be driving, as Henry Ford said, we'd all be driving a black car if we didn't have choices,
There's a thing I get in like that Retail Today and Retail Age and all these like trade magazines. I get their emails. They actually had something on recently about the 10 richest like people of all time, and like what their worth was then, what it's worth now. And he was, I think he was like in the top few. Like what he was worth then was like 300 billion today, or like more money than anybody today is worth. And like you said, it's because now I think he solved the real problem. I mean, people are walking, like you just want to see a family member that was 5 miles away. It takes you like 2 days to get there in the mud. Like I would think that's more on the problem solving side. Now, the next versions of cars probably now are not solving problems. They're just improvements on the problem solving product. That's kind of how I look at it.
Sure.
So now once the car is made and you can motor on down the street in 5 minutes versus 5 hours, now somebody adds bigger tires, or they get the gas mileage is 5 miles an hour more than his first car, whatever the improvements are. You're not really now solving an initial problem. You're just making it even more convenient than the last one. And as we know, Carmine, most things that are invented today, most are not novel or really that new. They're just versions of something else that exists. I can't even remember at all the last time somebody approached me with something that I've never seen anything and anywhere in the world like it at all. Everything is something that's an improvement or an adjustment to something that already exists. Simple.
Correct. 1,000,000%. And it's even people taking advantage of an issue, creating a fix for that issue. Now, yes, it's a fix, but it's also not needed, you know? So yeah, if you're getting 20 miles per gallon in your car and you buy this thing that goes on top of the throttle body or whatever, and get you three more miles per gallon, it is a want to have because you want to get 3 more miles per gallon, but it's not.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
like, is it,
we could argue it. That's what's great about inventing
that's
and
it.
innovation.
Like, is a Tesla a problem solver? I guess on one side, you could say, well, now you don't have to rely on gas. You don't have to do that. But then the other flip side is, I think there was a study that somebody actually took the time to do this. And they did it in like different cities with different gas prices and electric prices, that it actually can cost you more in dollars to charge your Tesla driving the average amount of miles and than it is to fill up your car at 3 something a gallon.
Yep.
I was surprised. I was like, really? I didn't think it would be that much of a draw on the electricity in your house, but apparently it must be.
That is.
If you're driving your car a lot. So now, now are you solving a problem? If that's true, then no, actually you now made another problem. You're spending more money.
Yep.
So right, but there's going to be somebody that says that car just downright solves a problem and for no other reason it's worth being out in the marketplace. So you're right. This is one of those round and round things, but I'm just telling you because I've been in the business for decades that most everything I've ever developed and sold, including my own products with my own company, I never got an email or a handwritten note from somebody that said, Jim, you saved my life. You've changed my world. Your products solved like the biggest, I've never gotten one, but you know what? I have gotten a lot of emails and letters about, Jim, this product is fun. This thing is awesome. I had something like this. Yours is so much more fun or better, or that's what I get. I get like your version was better than somebody else's.
100%.
I didn't need it. I was in the binocular business. You don't need binoculars. Unless I guess maybe if you're like border security or in the military, then you need that stuff, right? But the average consumer didn't need anything that I had. But no. I sold millions and millions and millions of them.
Yep, 100%. That's why this type of industry where it is not a commodity, where you're able to have a choice to purchase it or not. It's not governed, but you have to price it right. You can't price yourself out of the market just because you think everybody, Jim, every inventor, even myself, think everybody wants this product. Well, go ahead and price it wrong and you'll see that nobody needs it. Yeah, like it's funny when somebody posts something like your product has to solve a problem, I can't help myself. I jump in and say, no, it doesn't. And there's a lot of people who will fight back with me and they'll find these sort of nuances that we're talking about. Like, yep. Yeah, but it actually does solve a problem. And that's what's really best for people and all this stuff. I'm like, no, I'm in this business every single day. I am telling you, no, it's not my opinion. It's just fact. It is fact. I bet you if we pull up the top selling products for holiday this year and for the last however many years, I'm willing to bet most all of them solve no problems at all. Generally speaking, they don't solve a problem at all. They are cool stuff, things you want to give these things as gifts to people because it's fun to get those types of things. Yeah, 100%. And then it's the rare products, the limited edition ones. Obviously no one needs that, but go get a limited edition Gucci backpack for $5,000. Yeah, because that's needed. I know that's needed. That's what I'm talking about. And again, people they forget that that's the stuff that really is selling well. It's not unfortunately, there's probably products out there that people invent that really could solve a problem, but they're boring or they don't make them more enticing. Like, it's funny, like, we deal with Home Shopping Network and QVC all the time. And I remember a while back, I was in a meeting there and I brought in a product and the buyer's like, we can't carry this. And I'm like, it's such an awesome product. And I said, why not? And they said, because we don't sell products based on fear.
Like we don't sell something that scares somebody into buying it.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, yeah, but it solves a big problem for people. They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
We want our customers to be happy. We want our customers to feel good. We want our customers to like feel more important or whatever when they buy our stuff.
Yep.
They're not like, you want problem solving, you go to Walgreens to buy medicine. That solves a problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's not our business. Our business, our multi-billion-dollar business is built on stuff people just want.
100%.
Clothes, accessories, consumer electronics, health and fitness. Most of that stuff is just desirable. Again, could a fitness product, is it solve a problem? Sure, it could. But is it solely exist for that? Because you can get out, walk. I could get right now, put my sneakers on, walk out of the house and walk 3 miles. And trust me, that's going to solve my lack of physical activity problem. It's going to make me more fit, more healthy. I don't need a Peloton $3,000 bike to get healthy.
Yeah.
Period. It's not needed. People just have become of this belief that if you do not make something with the pure intention to solve a problem, that it is not useful, and that is just completely wrong.
1,000,000%. And if the problem is the person has too much money and they didn't spend it all, then yeah, you're solving their problem. That's about it. 100%. Yeah, no doubt about it. And it'll always be like that. We'll always want to have something different than the next person. Not that we're, trying to compete, but we all have our own style, our own way of doing things, our own hobbies. I have hobbies, just think of a golfer. A golfer wants to get a good club that is going to help him, and it might be form fitted or fitted. So he doesn't have to do that. He can go and just buy clubs at a sporting goods store, but he wants to get the best game possible. So he gets a pair of custom clubs. I mean, you could argue that.
I guess it's just people's perception of what their problems are. And I think most people, I would say they might whine or complain that, oh, I got this big problem. Again, I want to be clear with people that it's okay and it's good to make problem-solving products, and they definitely can sell and they're definitely needed, but that should not be the basis for you inventing something. Now, if it's something personal to you, like you've had a big issue in your life and you created something to solve that for others, I'm all for that, and that can sell, and again, it's marketable, but that is not the only reason to invent. Every inventor I've ever worked with in 20 plus years in this business wants to profit from their invention. They're not doing it for nothing, for a non-for-profit entity, just because, and I'm going to spend tens of thousands of dollars and not get anything in return. They all want to make money. So if you want to make money, you make products that people want, not what you think everyone's problem is. If there's a problem and you can identify it and there are people who are willing to pay for it, then you should make that product. But if there's something that's ridiculous, that's stupid, that's just made of platinum that people might want to buy because it's cool, then make that product. They have equal weight. In other words, whatever it is that you make things that people want, not what you think people need. People will tell you what they want. You can see it. You can look in the marketplace and see the holes sometimes. You can see what people are looking for. You can see what's popular and just say, I'm going to amp that one up. I'm going to take this and now I'm going to add this little extra thing to it. And now it's going to even be that much better. Whatever it is that you do, or whatever the reasons are, they're all valid.
Yep.
But again, for like the 30th time today, it does not have to solve a problem to be successful. Retailers don't care if it's a problem solver. They just care, can we sell it? Can we sell a lot of it? Can we make a lot of money with it? And when that happens and the consumer is happy, the retailer makes money, the inventor is selling lots of products and they're successful, then that is the ultimate win-win for everybody in the chain along the way.
Yep, 100%. And when the inventor knows this and realizes this, and then finds somebody, Jim, like you, who will laser focus their product to the right market, the right customer, That's when it explodes. 1,000,000%, Jim.
And that's it. It's just finding, just come to me with your product, show me a sell sheet,
Yep.
and let's just see if it's marketable. Let's float it out to the retailers. Let's get it online. Let's see what the interest level is.
Yep.
If somebody believes it solves a problem, great for them. Then they'll buy it. If they think it's just cool to have, they'll buy it. It's the consumer's choice to decide if it's a problem for them, and if your product solves that problem. Like, I may, at any given point, buy something that I think solves a problem for me, but you might come and think that doesn't do anything for me, doesn't help me, but the next person it might. So a lot of this, I guess, comes down to perception, what the person thinks it does for them. So I don't know. And I'm sure I burned the whole podcast on this sort of rant here, but
you didn't burn
I think it's important for people to know.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, it's one of those things where you need, as you're progressing, to decide really what your product stands for, what it does, and how it helps society, or it's a product for fun. There's nothing wrong with having a product that people have fun with. I mean, people that sell kiteboarding and surfboards, and these are fun products. You don't have to go surfing to catch fish. So it's not. There's so many things that we could talk about. I love this subject because it's just it is a history making subject. It'll go on through history. It's like people think the earth is flat and people think it's round, and we can argue all day about it and just have fun.
Yeah, that's true. And so if you're inventing, if you have an idea, just pursue the idea objectively. Just say, I think the way to do it is to say, I got this thing. Do I do some consumer surveys, focus groups? Do I do some market research? Is there a market for it? Forget aspirational or problem solving. Is there a market? Are there other things like it out there? Go to Amazon, Google, go wherever, and see if your type of product exists. If it does, then there's a market for it because people are selling those things. Yours is just a different version. And then the next step is, right, is my idea particularly patented? If it's not, then you either try to license it to a company who will sell it, or you come to people like us who say, all right, we're going to get prototypes made. We're going to get it manufactured. We're going to put it in front of retailers. We're going to put it in front of consumers, and then let people decide if it's something that they desire. And that's it. And along the way, I don't ever push on the retail like, this is the biggest problem solver of, they're like, well, whatever. Like, unless there's a problem solving retail store called the problem. Maybe we should make a store that is dedicated to just problem solving products and funnel everything in there, and people just walk in. It's like life's problem solved here, in this store, and we sell it.
I love it, man. That would be, the ultimate problem solving store. You can have a lot of crazy people walking in with some odd problems.
Well, maybe we won't sell anything because they don't want the stuff.
I think there are a store like that. It's called the therapist office. Oh man, so funny. So Jim, I know we're going to start wrapping up. I know you've been really busy, man. Tell me a little bit. Give me 2 minutes about what you got on, unless you don't want to announce all the stuff you have going on.
Well, for confidentiality reasons, I mean, you and I talk because we're on the NDAs with inventors, but we have some, obviously we've got some products that have now are actually shipping. We got our brew chai, which we have to definitely mention, this tea brewing system that we got finally, after like 10 years of making this thing is done. And I got my samples. They look good. The packaging is great. It looks nice, like the way it's constructed. It looks like a luxurious tea brewing system. So we're finally now 2022 going to start pushing this thing out. You and I collectively have a bunch of things that we'll disclose when they come to fruition. People have been approaching me for weeks now with all new ideas, from organizing products to sporting goods products to health related products. There's so many things that I'm looking at. It's almost too much in a way. There's so many things that are out there people are coming to me with. So there's a lot going on for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. Yeah. What do you think of that brew chai? I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, look, we know that a gazillion people drink tea, and there's a lot of serious tea drinkers who will spend the time to brew their own versus buying like a Lipton tea bag type of thing. So it's going to be interesting to see. And just in my pre-selling it, there was a lot of interest from like anyone from like the Whole Foods and Trader Joe's of the world to department stores to whatever. So now we're going to actually be able to say, hey, we've actually got some inventory coming in and push this thing around.
Yeah. Awesome, man. That's really cool. Yeah. I'm trying to set up the shipping for that now. These days,
Yeah.
you got to set up shipping so far in advance and
Yeah.
stuff.
We're getting there. We finally, at least we could, it was nice to finally touch this thing.
Yeah.
After a couple of years. I mean, it was really cool to see it actually come to life. It's fun.
Yeah.
And for Parag, the person who invented it, he must have had a moment there where he was like, wow, I can't believe this is real. After it's been virtually out there for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's the cool part, guys. And that's one thing that Jim and I always stress is we love delivering that product to the inventor when it's done. It's so much fun for me to pack those boxes up and send that stuff out.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
And now the real work begins. Not that there hasn't been a ton of work behind this thing. Now can it be sold?
Yep.
This is where it all comes down to.
Yep. And the preparation. So no, all good, man. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening. I agree with you. I've been approached so many new products, so many things. We're going to be kicking them off towards the new year. We have a lot of projects going on, and we want to obviously get those finished up. So bringing on new projects towards the new year is going to be awesome. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about for our podcast and in the weeks and months to come.
Cool.
So, all right, all you listeners out there, thank you as usual for listening in. Please go on out to Google Play, iTunes, YouTube. Find us on these social medias. Subscribe, leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Find Jim on most social media platforms or send him a question, jimdebetta.com. He's got a great website out there. And if we don't hear from you, or if we don't record a new show, this is mid-December right now, and we wish you happy holidays, and we will catch you all next time. Take care.